Hey YouTube, this is Brandon at The Edge Pro, and we're going to continue on the Classic 76 on the wear parts, and today we're going to talk about changing out the brushes, the brush springs, and also what other things to look for in that area. So let's head on over to the repair station and get those brushes changed. Alright, we're over at the repair desk, and today we're going to be talking about replacing the brushes that are behind this screw here and that screw there on the Oster 76. This repair is also exactly the same for the A5 clipper, which is the animal version of the 76. For this repair, you're going to need two standard screwdrivers, a number 1 and a number 2. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is take out this top screw here. With this screw, we want to use the number 2 because it's going to be a lot wider, so you don't end up bending the plastic on this. Don't end up bending the plastic there on that screw. You can also use a dime, and it fits that slot perfectly. Let's go ahead and get those screws out. Alright, so we went ahead and took the screws off, and underneath there we have a cap, and then underneath that we're going to have a spring and then the carbon brush. If we pry too hard on this cap, it's going to end up breaking the carbon brush. So I've switched to my number 1 screwdriver, and I'm just going to just lightly pry around the edge until it comes up, keeping this finger here so that it doesn't shoot out of the way. Once we take this off, that's what our cap looks like. Just a little cap to contain the spring, and then the spring and the brush will slide right out. There should be no resistance. It should slide very nicely right out. And now we can go ahead and inspect our brushes and do our repair. One of the things we're going to do if our brush still has a lot of life, like this one does, is we're going to check for any kind of dirt or imperfections that may be around this side. This is a nearly new brush that we have here, and we can go ahead and clean that off with our hands or with paper towel. Works very nicely. Another thing we're going to do is with the brush sleeve here is we'll take and thread a Q-tip down in there to clean up any residue that might be on the sides and prevent the brush from making good contact with the armature. When that contact is broken, at worst the clipper will just turn off, but otherwise you can get a lot of extra heat, you can get extra noises, so we just want there to be no resistance on the brush making contact with the armature. That is the armature, that darker brass piece way down inside of there. Everything is the same for the other side. So now we'll go ahead and talk about reinstalling the brushes. Alright, so to reinstall these brushes, when they come in your pack, you're going to get 2 brushes and 2 springs, and they're going to be apart like this. If you look, you can see where this coil of this spring starts right there. On the bottom side, you see that little spot where it starts. If we put it into this plastic cup and twist into that spring how it starts, it will eventually catch into the plastic and stay in place for us. Once that's in, now we need to orient the brush to the housing correctly. So if you look, it has kind of a cupped shape, and that's how it's going to meet the armature. And so there's only one option of how this goes in there for it to not get stuck and to slide directly into the armature. So if we look at this, we've got the cup like that, and we're just going to tilt it up and in. And if you have it the right direction, it's going to be very free moving in and out of the brush sleeve. There's no force whatsoever. I can do it all just by holding onto this spring. If you have it wrong, it's going to require force to get it in there, and it requires a fairly extensive repair to be able to get it out, and your clipper will stop working. Once that's in there, we're going to pull back our cap, and it just pops right in there, and we just press it in and it stays into place. Then we'll put our screw back in and tighten it down gently. As we can see, it's not holding anything in that's going to come flying out or anything really tightly, so we don't need to mar up this plastic screw. You can keep your tools looking nice just by tightening it down with that number 2 flathead screwdriver until it's snug, and then just be done. Alright, so we're just finishing up getting that screw just snug. No damage done to the screw. And that completes our repair on replacing the brushes. On Oster clippers, this is a standard repair. On Andis clippers, most of the time brushes are going to outlive the life of the clipper, and because of a different carbon content that they have. It's a very quick repair, and it can keep your tool running for a long time. I hope this has been helpful. If you enjoyed it, definitely give us a thumbs up, and please subscribe to our page, as we're going to continue to put more content like this out there. Thank you.